It took her over 2 weeks to realize I was gone. I left, and she didn't even notice. Not a text, not a call, not even a lazy, "Hey, where are you?" from the woman I gave 10 years of my life to. 10 years. I packed my duffel, shut the front door behind me, and vanished like a ghost. 2 full weeks passed before she realized the bed was colder, the sink didn't have coffee cups waiting to be washed, and her personal punching bag had stopped breathing under her roof. And even then, when she finally reached out, it wasn't a scream of worry or some tearful voicemail begging to know if I was okay. No, it was a one-line text. "Did you take the dog?" I stared at that message for 5 minutes. My thumb hovered over the screen. Not because I didn't know what to say, but because I wanted to burn the whole damn phone. That dog had been limping with arthritis for months. I took him because she was too busy putting glitter on her eyelids for some girl's night to care he couldn't walk down the stairs. She hadn't walked him in over a year. But now she cared. Let me rewind for you, because you need to understand how deep this betrayal ran. Her name is Jessica. Jessica Whitmore. Blonde. Curves she knew how to weaponize. Lips that lied better than most people breathe. When we met, she had this innocent librarian look, big glasses, and a quiet laugh. But that was just her bait. Beneath all that was a calculating, manipulative storm dressed in lace and perfume. I fell for it. Hard. She used to run her fingers through my hair while telling me how lucky she was. She'd send flirty texts in the middle of my workday. But slowly, and I mean slowly like poison in a cup, things changed. It started small, cold silences instead of kisses. "I'm tired," became her bedtime anthem. "You're too sensitive," when I told her I missed her. And then there were the outfits. Tight dresses, heels she hadn't worn for me in years. But they weren't for me. I remember one night in particular. 2 months ago. It was raining hard. I was home early from a late client meeting. She didn't hear me come in because her music was blasting in the bathroom. I followed the noise, expecting to see her putting on a face mask or curling her hair. What I saw stopped my breath. She was standing there in red lingerie I hadn't seen before. Not once. Not even on our anniversary. And she was taking selfies in the mirror, smiling, turning, posing. "Who are you sending those to?" I had asked quietly, not even knowing I was going to say it until it was out. She spun around like a startled deer, then quickly laughed. "It's for me, babe. I'm just feeling myself." That was the moment the glass cracked. I didn't say anything else. Just nodded and walked back out of the room. But my gut? It was screaming. Not whispering. Screaming. And once a man starts listening to that scream, it's over. You can't unhear it. That night, I couldn't sleep. I lay in bed beside her, her back turned, her breathing soft, and I stared at the ceiling thinking, I'm living with a stranger. But I wasn't ready to see it. Not yet. Love, you see, makes fools of men. It convinces you that maybe she's just going through something. Maybe you're not doing enough. Maybe if you surprise her with flowers or book that weekend trip, she'll look at you the way she used to. I was wrong. So I started watching. Not accusing. Not yelling. Just observing. Her phone, once always on the counter, now never left her hand. Password changed. She giggled at texts I couldn't see. It's just Rachel, she'd say. Or Cassie. Except I know how she laughs with her friends. And this wasn't it. The final crack? It came the night she said, "You're suffocating me." Me. The man who had cooked, paid the bills, planned her birthday every single year while she forgot mine twice. The man who put his own dreams on hold so she could launch her interior design business. I was suffocating her. So I waited until she left for another of her mysterious brunches, packed my things, loaded the dog in the back seat, and disappeared. She didn't notice. Not for a day. Not for 3. Not for 14. And that's when I realized she hadn't been with me for months. She just hadn't bothered to tell me. I was a placeholder. A warm body. A convenience. But this was just the beginning. Because what she didn't know was that I had evidence. Everything. And the next time she texted, it wouldn't be about the dog. It would be to beg. The morning of day 15, her name popped up on my phone again. This time, it wasn't about the dog. She wrote, "Why haven't you come home? Are you seriously sulking this long over nothing?" That word, nothing, set something off in me. The fire I'd kept buried for weeks flared to life. Sulking? Over nothing? She had no idea I'd already seen the hotel receipts. The screenshots. The late-night rideshare charges to places we'd never been together. She didn't know I'd hacked the backup on her iCloud and found the photo. Yeah, the photo. The one of her in that same red lingerie from the bathroom mirror. Only this time, it wasn't a selfie. Someone else had taken it. Someone else had his hand on her thigh. Some faceless guy with a Rolex and too many tattoos. His head wasn't in the shot, but it didn't matter. He was close. Too close. That was 2 weeks ago. Now she was texting me like I had wronged her. Like I was some fragile, moody little boy hiding from her truth bombs. I didn't reply. Not yet. I wanted her to stew in it. She tried again a few hours later. This time she called. I didn't pick up. Let her talk to the dial tone. Let her hear her own breath while mine was 1,000 miles away. I wanted her to feel it. To feel the emptiness I'd felt every night. She came home smelling like unfamiliar cologne and fake stories. By day 17, she showed up at my brother's place. I hadn't told anyone where I'd gone. But her dramatic flair wouldn't let her sit still. She figured she could manipulate someone into revealing my hideout. She knocked. She cried. She acted like the wife of the century. My brother, bless him, opened the door halfway and said, "Funny thing is, I'm not sure you even know where he is anymore." She didn't like that. I was watching the doorbell cam footage he sent me later. Her tears dried the second she thought nobody was watching. She spun around, muttering something that sounded like, "Fine. Play it this way." I knew what that meant. Manipulation mode. Activated. Day 18, I finally responded. One word, "Why?" She replied instantly. Almost too fast. She must have been staring at her screen for days, hoping I'd cave. Her response, "I didn't cheat. I never touched anyone. This is all in your head." Right. So I sent her the photo. The one with her in red, his hand on her thigh, time-stamped, geotagged, irrefutable. The silence after that was delicious. She didn't respond for hours. Then, like a cornered animal, she lashed out. "That was nothing. It wasn't even what it looks like. You're so dramatic. He's just a friend. We were playing around. You take everything too seriously." And there it was, gaslight protocol initiated. I could predict her every step now. She wasn't going to apologize. She wasn't even going to admit it. She was going to flip it on me. Make me the crazy one. It's what she did best. I called her that night. First time I let her hear my voice since I left. She picked up like she'd been waiting on the edge of her seat. "Finally," she said. I didn't give her a second to breathe. "You were caught. I've got everything. And yet, you lie like it's your native language." "Jason, listen." "No," I cut her off. "You listen. I don't care who he is. I don't care how long it's been. What I care about is how easily you tried to erase me from the equation and thought I'd just sit there smiling while you treated me like the dull background character in your personal drama." She scoffed. "You're being so theatrical. You act like this is some kind of soap opera." I smiled to myself. "No, you turned it into one. I'm just ending the season." Then I hung up. And this time, I blocked her. Phone, email, every app. I disappeared completely, digitally, emotionally, everything. But the real twist? She still didn't know I had more. The bank records, the hotel surveillance, the voice recordings, the receipts tucked under her car seat. Her pretty little world? It was built on sand. And a storm was coming. The next morning, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. I let it ring out. It called again, then again. On the fourth try, I picked up. "Jason? It's Mark, Jessica's boss." I didn't say anything. I don't want to be involved, man, but I thought you should know. She's been acting erratic at the office. Saying stuff about lawsuits, assets, your name being on the company registry. I don't know what's going on between you two, but it's bleeding into work. Oh, there it was. She was panicking. Not because she lost me, but because she realized I was the only thing keeping her precious little business afloat. The office lease. In my name. Website. Registered to me. Bank account. Joint access I never revoked, until now. She'd built her image on the illusion of independence, but behind the scenes, I was the spine of her empire. I hung up after telling Mark, "Appreciate the heads up." That evening, I checked the cameras. Yeah, I had cameras. She never knew I had quietly installed a system a few months back when the lies started piling up. The feed from our home was cloud-backed and time-stamped. There she was, sitting on the living room floor, mascara running down her face, holding one of my old hoodies like it was a lifeline. She rocked back and forth like a girl who'd lost her doll. But I didn't feel sorry for her. Not anymore. This wasn't grief. This was exposure. This was the moment a fraud realized the mask slipped and the crowd had stopped clapping. She started making calls. Her voice was raised. She was yelling. At her mother, her sister, Even some guy named Eric. Funny, I hadn't heard that name before. Probably the tattooed mystery hand from the photo.